how did you feel about the promo, the Grayson Waller effect and everything? And what did you get from it? Did you think
Well,
anything's gonna
one
come from
thing,
it?
there was something that a lot of people pointed out pretty cleverly was an Easter egg of sorts where Seth, when they were talking about Roman Reigns, let's acknowledge him. Then Seth had, I don't know if you saw that, but he
Yeah,
put up his finger and he put it down real quick.
yeah.
So it kind of they're planting seeds to put doubt in people's minds because if you know anything about Seth Rollins is very sneaky. He's almost up there with Randy Orton, where you can't trust him.
Mm.
And it's like, is he a double agent working for Roman and he's gonna backstab Cody? Because
So when I see videos like that of like, oh, this minor detail in WWE, like Seth Rollins did that, does WWE actually plant things, little hints like that for future reference, or is that just fans just being fans and be like,
that
oh, this is he look, see, he was a heel, he's gonna come a heel, see? Like, so which one is it?
it's it's not one definitive thing. Like oftentimes some of the best characters, they'll have seeds planted along the way and that lead somewhere often, and then other times they're just things that they capitalize on. Like they see that, Josh, you come out to the ring and you, I mean, the overarching thing with let's scrap that. The overarching thing with the Rock and Cody Rhodes. This was a hell of a pivot. We all know just from how it was presented. We don't know what the plan was like overarching and what they were going for, but we know that the plan certainly was The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I don't know what happened to deviate from that. I mean, it looks like they just pivoted according to the response, which that was a hell of a call. They got themselves out of it. I'm happy that they did, but we don't know the intricacies that got them to that conclusion, like the backstage discussions and everything that goes into it. We never will. We've heard reports from both sides, so it's pretty much like there's a mixture between being deliberate and then also reacting appropriately and pivoting to things that people notice. It's kind of like if you have a wrestler who gets really popular out of nowhere and people are cheering for him, kind of like LA Knight was when he first came up to the main roster. Everybody was really hot on him. He still are, but they capitalize on him. They put him in more prominent spots. Maybe not as prominent as some people like to see, but they feature him more, even though he might not have been the plan to be like on the forefront of the show.
Okay.
So it's really hard to say. I think it's a mixture of both.
Gotcha. Okay, so I didn't know about that about Seth Rollins. He seemed genuine every time he approached Cody. He was like, "I got your back." Like, so it'll be interesting if he
Of
does
course he
do some
would.
type of, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if he does do some type of turn, but I don't expect that. Um,
I hope not.
yeah, I don't expect that anytime soon anyway. Like not before or after WrestleMania imminently, you know. So
It
yeah,
wouldn't make much sense just because of the fact of like we know that Seth is he's dealing with nagging injuries. So I anticipate him taking time off after
yeah,
WrestleMania.
yes,
So I mean, if he was sticking around, maybe that would make sense because that would give him momentum to go to another feud.
yeah,
But I don't really see much utility to him betraying Cody right now.
yeah, exactly. And speaking of the Grayson Waller effect, why was Austin Theory out there?
No earthly idea because the Texans brought
Like there was really no reason for him to be out there. It's not like he was from Australia. He mocked the crowd and introduced Grayson Waller, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. But and also one thing I got from that, when he snatched the mic from Grayson Waller, you saw Grayson Waller's face. He was like, so I wonder if their bro relationship was about to come to an end after that, after they just messed up Austin Theory, him and Cody and Seth. So I guess you know why Austin Theory is out there. He's out there for to get fucked up by Seth and Cody. That's basically why he's out there.
right.
But logically, it does not make any sense why he was out there.
Nah,
Yeah, so it
I
was interesting.
yeah, he was pretty much just like you said, fodder to make Cody and Seth look good, give him somebody to beat up.
Yeah, exactly. And so what do you think with the challenge Cody did to The Rock? Like, what do you think's gonna come for that?
That
You think
was
a night one WrestleMania, night two Cody fights Roman type thing? Night one he fights Rock? What do you think?
that is the this is gonna sound bad.
Cause not like them niggas gonna fight on Raw or SmackDown,
No, absolutely not.
right? Like, come on.
That's like when they had Brock Lesnar, he was gonna be Cody Rhodes tag team partner, the surprise tag team partner to fight. I forget who the hell it was. Roman Reigns and somebody else, and Solo Sikoa. And people thought it was gonna be like an actual Raw main event. This was last year. Do you remember that?
Nah, I don't remember.
And then because they told Cody, they said, okay, find a tag team partner to fight us. And he didn't have a tag team partner at first. And then all of a sudden Brock Lesnar's music hits. He's oh shit, it's gonna be Brock and Cody, Brock and Cody. And the internet was blowing up. I'm telling you, people all on Twitter going crazy, like Brock and Cody. Brock doesn't wrestle on Raw. This is crazy. This is the first time in X how many years. And then at the main event, they're out there in the ring, and then I think the ref was doing the announcements, and then Brock just turns around and beats the piss out of Cody. Like he massacred that man. And so the match never started, and Roman and Solo just looked at each other and left out the ring. And then Brock just destroyed Cody. And so it's like a wrestler of Brock or The Rock in this case, their caliber, hell, even Roman, honestly. But a wrestler of their caliber does not wrestle on a well, not free, but they don't wrestle on televised shows.
And I think that's really the disappointment of this new era, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're big stars. Like I understand when you make people a commodity, but yeah, what does that say about the rest of your roster in comparison? Like they can't lean into that too heavily.
Yeah, I think. Well, at least I'm not talking about The Rock. I'm talking more like a Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he's never I don't remember the last time he's wrestled on it. Like, of course he came and does a little did the little disqualification during the number one contender match with the Fatal Four Way. I remember
Yeah.
that. He doesn't actually wrestle. So I think like back in the Attitude Era, like they was wrestling on they wasn't just waiting for the pay-per-view.
He
So
was
yeah.
the top talent. Like you saw
Yeah.
Triple H, the Undertaker, The Rock. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, it's like every Monday and Friday was like a pay-per-view. So you didn't
Yeah,
have to wait, you didn't have to pay for it. So it was so I think that's really the disappointment of the new era. Just yeah.
it is a disappointment. I understand what they're trying to do to give him more prestige and
Yeah.
not have him just mix it up with random wrestlers and because they feel like that war's in the rain and I mean, but I have enjoyed some of his work that he did with other talent. I think his match with Montez Ford, that was really good. That was
Oops.
Roman and Montez Ford.
Oh, okay. Roman, okay.
They fought sometime last year. That was a really good match. And just seeing him mix it up with like younger talent,
Mm-hmm.
people who are fresher in the company who might not be at the main event level yet. I'd rather see Montez Ford fight him than Randy Orton per se. I like Randy, but they've been there, done that before, you know?
Yeah. So what do you think is gonna come? Do you think he's gonna fight him at WrestleMania? Is that the most likely thing?
So there's like I
Rock?
said, there's two things. It's that I have to say about that. That's a really dumb thing to do. Because think about it, you're going to the biggest match of your career potentially, and you're gonna fight another match the night before. That doesn't make sense. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also Cody Rhodes, and that's exactly what Cody Rhodes would do.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about any challenges, and he knows that it's going to be a mess up situation. He knows that you know when he fights The Rock, he probably will have to contend with Solo and whoever. Like they're trying to get their licks in and get him weakened up for Roman the next day, and it's just more exposure. But like I said, it's in a storyline from a storyline perspective. That's probably the most likely thing to do. Is they don't have any more pay-per-views between now and Mania, do they?
No, that's
So
it.
yeah, so when is he gonna find him? Are they
Yeah.
gonna make a
That's
pay-per-view?
why I said there's no way they fighting on Raw or SmackDown. So it has to be at WrestleMania.
So
If he, of course, challenge if he accepts the challenge, of course. I mean,
correct. Yeah,
but it shouldn't be no reason The Rock shouldn't accept it. You know, like maybe he should do like whoever wins fights Roman on night two or something like that. Maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know.
they could, but yeah, if they want to do this, the Rock versus Cody 1-on-1, they pulled the trigger on it, so it has to happen night one.
Mm, yeah.
If not,
May probably should have happened Elimination Chamber, but yeah. The Rock said, I ain't going to Australia. Nah, I'm good, man.
he was everywhere else. Did you see him all over? He was on like a military base. He was at like a soccer game or something like this. And it's just like, why? What are you doing here? Like, what are you telling people in armed forces? And I mean, it's cool, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, but let's switch gears to the elimination chamber, the women's elimination chamber. I think we both predicted Becky Lynch was going to win, of
Absolutely.
course, and yeah, she ended up winning.
I did see some pieces of it. I thought that it was a nice opportunity for them to showcase Naomi. She didn't win the chamber, but this is like her first major match since she's returned. I mean, she was in the Rumble, but I think the Elimination Chamber is gives her much more opportunity to stand out. There's only 5 other women as opposed to a total of 29 others competing in the Royal Rumble, and
Mhm.
she did a phenomenal job. She she was an odd choice to start the match. It was her and Becky, two baby faces. Typically, and as far as I can recall, they usually start the chamber with a heel and a baby face, but no complaints there. That was the one of the main things. It was a four-round collision. Becky's going to win. One thing that did surprise me was the amount of eliminations that Liv Morgan got.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay. So you caught like most of the highlights of the actual match, right? Oh, okay. Interesting. Because it's interesting that you said that about Naomi because I thought she was probably the worst one there. Not that she was bad at all.
mm,
That's not even that she was bad. I just thought she was probably the worst one there. I thought she kind of started off slow and it probably because of it was the heat because they said it was like 100 degrees there. So yeah, so it probably was that. But she did have a nice move off the chamber when she did the split.
mm,
It landed I forgot who she landed on, but I thought that was a nice one though.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
it Becky? Maybe it was Becky.
I would say that it was Becky.
Yeah, it probably was. But yeah, so I had her as probably the worst, but I wouldn't say she was bad though. Then after her, it was Becky. I don't her fighting doesn't really excite me all that much. I don't know what it is really, but
Becky.
yeah, her fighting doesn't really excite me like her matches or anything like that. Then after that, I had Raquel Rodriguez. I felt she had her power. She displayed her power well in that match. Then Liv Morgan, I had at 3 because I thought Liv Morgan had some energy a lot of the match, and then I had Belair at 2 because I thought she had some really nice moves. She had a DDT. What was it? I think it was like was it off the chamber or something? But it was like really nice. It was like off the rope or off the chamber or something, but it was like really nice. I was like, oh shit. But yeah. And then I thought Tiffany Stratton was like the MVP performance of that actual match though.
Now, why'd you say that?
Because she had the most energy and she was just I felt like she like really led the performance like with everything she was doing when she did she start? No,
No,
she didn't start, right? She because she was like, I think she was the first one out. But yeah, as soon as she came out, she like really jolted it because Becky and Naomi, they was had a little slow start, but when Tiffany came out, she really like jolted the whole really match. And I like that.
yeah, she did have a nice performance in terms of that's another standout one because she's one of the newer women on the roster, and
Mm.
I've seen a lot of good things people saying about her and just more support. But the so I want to stop back and go back to Naomi. She was eliminated by Tiffany, so shout out to Tiffany for that.
Hmm.
Naomi, I didn't expect her to win the match, but I
Yeah.
also didn't expect her to be the first elimination.
Mm.
And then when it comes to Liv Morgan is sort of like an internet favorite of the internet wrestling community. A lot of people, she's really popular,
Mm.
and she did get a few notable eliminations. So there was Tiffany Stratton that we just talked about, and then we had Bianca Belair,
Hmm.
and that was the second one was mind blowing for me
Wait,
because
which one?
the fact that Liv,
She pinned Bianca?
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like the ending.
yeah, I was not a fan of that, but
Yeah.
because it's like where who has more upside? Where does I mean it makes I guess it what does Liv gain from that? You know,
Yeah.
but then again,
That was your biggest disappointment?
was it my biggest disappointment? I won't say it was a disappointment. It just didn't make any sense to me. If you just
Because
look at them as wrestlers and how they're booked and presented, if you put them in a one-on-one match, Bianca Belair's going to win every time. Liv Morgan's never really been booked as a credible threat, even when she was a women's champion and she was fighting against Ronda Rousey and other wrestlers. She was like the Rey Mysterio underdog type one where she would get the piss beat out of her the entire match, and then she happened to win. But I think she cashed her money in the bank on a wounded Ronda, and then lost her belt immediately. So she hasn't really ever been presented in a strong fashion. She's getting like prominent spots, but this is Bianca Belair, arguably the next face of your women's division.
mm,
Not babyface, but in terms of star power
yeah.
and prominence, like she's in a number of the different ads that WWE has. I think they have
Oh yeah.
most recently like the Slim Jim one with her and LA Knight.
Yeah.
One of your higher profile athletes losing to somebody who can't pick up a win on a random episode of SmackDown. I mean, she qualified obviously, but
Hmm. I did think it would be Bianca and Becky at the end, the final two. But
mm,
yeah, it was interesting. I didn't like the ending at all with the random pin on Bianca, and then I think what she do, a finishing move on Liv.
mm-hmm.
What happened? Yeah, and then yeah. So I wasn't a huge fan. And I think that's the reason why I didn't give it like a solid A to the actual match too.
Yeah. What would you give that match?
A minus.
Hmm. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, but I think it started a little bit slow, but I think it did well once everybody started coming in. But yeah, I do agree with you though about the Liv Morgan. I didn't really think about it that
Not
way.
have eliminated Bianca.
You said what?
She should not have eliminated Bianca.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
What's next on the card? What was the
Next, yeah, let's go to the men's elimination chamber. So how did you feel about the whole thing?
okay? First off, we knew Drew McIntyre was going to win that.
Of course. Yes.
He was the only one that made any kind of
Yeah, yeah.
because Logan Paul, he does not belong in the main event. Like
And
like
he's not getting two championships even if he was. So no.
that would go nuclear.
No. We're not doing that.
Yeah, that so he and the reason I say that just from a storyline perspective, he and Kevin Owens are wrapped in sort of a blood,
Yeah.
which is now complicated because he pissed off Randy Orton, and Randy does not forget.
That was a question. That was the question I had too. Is it gonna be him and KO or him and Randy Orton? Because I mean,
Might be a triple threat.
interesting.
But yeah, that I mean, we knew that neither Kevin Owens or damn, we knew that neither
Bobby
Kevin
Lashley.
Owens, yeah, I'm trying to think. Logan Paul, Bobby Lashley, it didn't make sense for any of them to win. As much as I love Bobby Lashley, he he's caught up in that weird feud with Karrion Kross and his cronies.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been presented nowhere near as strong as when he was fighting Brock or when he first debuted, well, for the second time when he beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam clean, and his push has been very inconsistent. They'll make Bobby look indomitable, like nobody could beat him 1 week or for a short span, and then you'll have him getting beat in like a qualification match for something else, and it's very inconsistent. Even though he has on paper he has all the credentials and the legitimacy of someone like a Brock Lesnar, he's
Mm.
in the very same fashion. But that being said, I knew that he wasn't going to win the match, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially since they try to act like he hurt his arm, like the SmackDown the night before
Mm-hmm.
with the whole Karrion Kross joint. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of gave him like a graceful exit, like a
Mm.
they still kept him looking strong. But hey, he wasn't at 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other one,
He
go ahead.
he had a spear on Logan Paul through the chamber. Two.
He
Two of them
speared
in the
two people through the chamber.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. But I remember the Logan Paul one vivid because I was like, damn. I was just like, yeah, he that was it was nice. But yeah, we didn't expect Bobby Lashley to win though. LA Knight was in it too, but yeah, we didn't expect him to win. Of course, AJ Styles.
That was crazy. Go. I want
What's
to hear what you
you?
think.
I have a question. You telling me you didn't try to fuck up his qualifying match, but you went all the way to Australia just to get into the chamber?
That's like a 16-hour or 16 to 18-hour flight. You
It's like a whole day.
must
You almost, you want to play the whole day just and you went all the way there just to fuck up his match. Like
yeah.
and you could I thought that was funny.
That's that's something else. And we talked about something else that you and I are working on. And so remind me after we finish this discussion and talk about uh interference. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Okay.
But it's funny that I see the reason. So AJ Styles got in the chamber when Bobby Lashley was leaving, correct?
Yes.
And so that I guess that's the most plausible thing. But
Yeah, I was like,
I find it very funny when they had these containerized matches in chambers. So people, I guess the elimination chamber isn't designed so people don't interfere. But anytime there's a cell or a chamber match, it seems like people are finding ways to interfere. Like in a storyline, they'll have like a Josh versus Bryan and a blood feud and a steel cage because Josh's brother always interferes and helps. And then your brother will come out there and throw you a chair over the cage. Or when I'm trying to get out there, he'll slam the door on me or something. It's like they're designed to stop people from interfering, but they always find a way to interfere.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what that reminded me of. But I don't think the elimination chamber had the same purpose. But the fact that AJ was just able to enter the cage, that that's the second time I've seen that done. I saw it done with when Shawn Michaels cost the Undertaker. If my memory serves me correctly, he cost him one elimination chamber match when they were like on the lead or build up to one of their WrestleMania matches.
Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, they when they explained it, it's like, okay, he came in after Bobby Lashley struggled to get. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Of course he did. So I was like, okay, interesting. Well, that's like we predicted with that one too. LA Knight and AJ Styles are going to continue their feud, so it'll be interesting. Finally, hopefully they'll get a match, so just to see what happens there.
I mean, on
Uh,
paper, everyone had a date for WrestleMania except for Drew McIntyre. So who else was gonna realistically win?
yeah, you're actually right. Yeah, now that, you think, now that I think about it, you're right. Everybody else,
Everybody needs something to do.
yeah, that's funny.
And also Drew McIntyre he's having a bit of a resurgence in his career. So he currently it's unknown whether he's re-signed with the company because that was one thing with him.
Yeah,
So you know about that, yeah.
yeah.
And but he's doing really great character work. I like the new desperate heel version of Drew. And he's kind of nasty in a sense
Yeah.
where he doesn't care who he hurts, he doesn't care who you are. He's desperate, he's clawing for something.
Yeah.
And he's it's not quite his Scottish psychopath character, even though he's back on the heel side of the spectrum. But I'm liking the fact that it's more nuanced and the stuff that he says, a lot of the stuff he says is true. Like when he was talking about, oh, nobody wants to fight for Roman's title anymore because his family always interferes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
It's crazy because I can't recall like nobody else like verbally acknowledges the fact that the bloodline always interferes in his matches. They just fight against them. But he's the first person, I don't know if he broke the fourth wall or what you would call it, but he's the only person that I can think of that actually said, hey, I've seen these matches. I fought against them. And you know what happened? So let's go what happened.
Think somebody put a goddamn body of security at the ringside when you fight Roman or something, but that was it's
But do
ridiculous.
you know, back in the day, man, you know what they need?
What?
Teddy Long. Teddy Long back in the day, he did not let no BS like that fly. There were three main punishments that Teddy Long would throw out. Of course, everyone knew one-on-one with the Undertaker. That was the biggest one. Then there was a tag team match where you and your buddies, y'all like to jump this person. Okay, well, it's gonna be a tag team match. And they'd be, oh no, they'd be losing their shit. Like, oh, y'all was cool a minute ago. And then the third one is the general manager actually used to ban people from ringside.
Yeah.
Did they lose that power?
I don't know. I guess I gotta wait for the ref to do it for some unknown reason. Yeah. have the have the person at ringside named the dirtiest player ever to be a wrestler
Yeah,
and nickname, and they still allowed at ringside. Like, come on, what do you think
yeah.
is gonna happen? Like come on.
It
I,
blows me.
yeah.
Did I send you a wrestling clip of somebody? Yeah, it was I sent you the one with Jimmy and Solo interfering during Cody versus Drew,
Hmm.
and it was so obvious. Like the ref should have known what would happen.
Freaking
But
oblivious.
whatever.
Yeah. But how did you feel about like the Randy Orton, like him in his bag throughout the match? Did you like that?
So I'm not commenting on other men's back, but so people were trying to say, "Oh, Randy must really be hurt." I really do think that it was himself. That he's not actually like he might have
I
some issues.
I did think he was actually hurt for some time. Like I was like, man, he might actually be hurt. But then he kept going at it. I was like, okay, he's doing too much. I don't think he's that hurt. Like sometimes some stuff is like believable, and some stuff he's like, like he get electrocuted. Yeah, all right, Randy.
He was really leaning into that because
Yeah, yeah,
he knows how the internet is.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Randy
yeah.
is a master of the in ring psychology, and he's probably one of the best that you could study in terms of if you wanted to be a wrestler to pick up things from in terms of his technical prowess, his ability to connect with the fans, to read the audience, his ability to sell, like you were just stating, and his
Hmm.
ability to just be aware of what's going on in the audience and reacting and pivoting. He's truly a generational talent.
Yeah.
I would he did put on a captivating and convincing performance when it comes to that selling of the injury. I would say that the best one I've ever saw was Bianca Belair when she got the Money in the Bank cash in on her. Did you see that? Or was that before?
No, I don't remember seeing. No, no.
So it's Io Sky is the women's champion now, right?
Hmm.
She cashed her Money in the Bank on Bianca.
Hmm.
It was I think it was a triple threat. I think it was a triple threat with Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka. And there was a spot in there where Bianca got thrown, like knocked off the top rope with the apron, and she landed outside, and she hit her knee. It just looked nasty, and I just knew she was hurt. They took her to the back, and then a few minutes later, she came back down. And it's like, oh shit, like she's fine. She wasn't actually hurt, and she ended up winning the match.
Hmm.
And because they played so heavily on the injury angle, you kind of knew that she was going to get the Money in the Bank cash on her. But that was probably the most convincing injury angle that I've ever seen.
You said her knee actually looked bad?
It like not from like a physical, but like the way she landed, you thought,
Uh,
and the way she reacted, and the way she like yelped it, like cried out in pain.
yeah, yeah.
You thought that was legit. People were. That's all I saw because I when I keep up with wrestling, like I'm looking at like what do I think, but then I also look at like what people on Twitter are saying.
Hmm.
It's like watching a movie in the movie theaters with all your friends. Everybody watches the same thing. Everyone's with the same fandom, and yet everybody was convinced that yeah, she was hurt.
Hmm.
But Randy, I never thought that he was personally. I never thought that he was hurt during that match.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought he probably would have dominated if he didn't do that. To be honest with you, he kind of like handicapped himself, kind of like I understand what you were saying about like having multiple people in a match, kind of like because a lot of people are laying down because it's like it's a lot to handle, because like it's so I understand what you mean like a one-on-one match is better, as in like rather than having multiple people in a match because people would be laying down and stuff like that. So
Not all
just
the time.
yeah, yeah, not all the time, but yeah, a lot of, I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
those multi-man matches, you gotta wait for your spot, and
Yeah, exactly.
happen. And
Yeah.
Josh, you're supposed to be in your place, but no, you're actually hurt. So now I have to figure out how me and you were supposed to have a spot where when we were the top rope, you knocked me through the table, and then
Hmm.
you actually got hurt, and they just wheeled your ass out to the back. Now we got to improvise.
So yeah, that's interesting. So, but how did you feel about the actual end of the match?
The end of the match,
Yeah, the brass knucks,
yeah,
the Randy Orton,
it was.
Logan Paul. This is what I didn't like. How the hell did Logan Paul get back into the chamber?
I don't know.
Or
I
was
don't,
he never
I
out of
don't
the
know
chamber?
left.
Why? Wasn't it like a whole like 3 minutes after?
I don't think he ever left.
Like I
It
was,
didn't make any sense to me either. Where so that RKO from Randy, the way they lined it up on that
yeah,
screenshot,
yeah,
where
yeah.
we're just going off, and then like when they say RKO out of nowhere, no, that was an RKO out of nowhere. And it was one of the cleanest ones he's ever hit. And you just put him out of commission. One, two, three, clean, he's done.
Yeah, I like how
And
yeah, he beat him too with that one too. Yeah.
the fact that Logan, he with the brass knuckles and this, they're doing things to really lean into him being a heel. But it was weird because now he not only, you already dealing with Kevin Owens.
Hmm.
You have Randy Orton after you too, and that's not a position that I would want to find myself in. If I were him in the world of kayfabe.
Yeah. You see them going on a feud, Randy and Logan. I
Yes.
don't I don't
Oh,
know if I,
absolutely.
without KO.
No, I don't think they're just going to drop Kevin Owens. If anything, I do think that it may end up being a triple threat.
Mm.
I think it may end up being something. It doesn't have like Randy Orton and Kevin Owens don't have that animosity towards each other. So
Yeah.
it's not the same as LA Knight and AJ Styles and Randy Orton. They're fighting after Roman. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. They don't have that same level of interplay. But it could be something to where, okay, well now Randy versus Kevin Owens in the winner fights Paul at WrestleMania for the title or whatever the case might be. I don't know, but
Do you see Randy going for the United States title? I don't know.
he actually won the United States Championship a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm not saying he never won. I'm just saying, do you feel at this point like maybe, yeah, but interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that because I feel that Logan Paul is gonna just is it would be annoying that the feud. Logan Paul Randy Orton, it shit is gonna be annoying.
Why do you think it's any more annoying than when he's doing Kevin Owens?
Well, Randy Orton is a bigger name, and like seeing Kevin Owens lose to Logan Paul is different than seeing Randy Orton lose to Logan Paul.
Okay, I can see that. Okay,
I still love Kevin Owens though. Kevin Owens, I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens.
interesting. I didn't know you were a Kevin Owens fan.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's hilarious. The first time I've seen him was at WrestleMania when he called out Stone Cold and he was like the hill. He was like they was in Texas. He was like bragging about being a Canadian. He's like this stupid state of Texas, and Stone Cold came out and stunned him. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my first time seeing him. But ever since then, I've seen him as a babyface, and I've seen the match when he went against Roman, and what happened when he was with the Sami Zayn storyline, him and Sami
he
Zayn. Like, yeah, yeah, I remember.
was
I
there
remember.
bludgeoning
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. So
That
I
was
remember.
an ass whooping. They had him tied
Yeah,
up.
yeah, they fucked him up. That was crazy. But
That
yeah,
that's there's a video that Stone Cold made about Kevin Owens, right, leading up to their match, and I have to send it to you because that was a master class in trash talking and promo work. But
yeah,
I digress, not to deviate. But yeah, I didn't know you were a Kevin Owens fan. I like Kevin Owens.
yeah. Kevin was nice, but yeah, when it comes to the men's elimination chamber, it wasn't bad. Um, as a result of it, of course, we think we both know that Drew is going to win at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins and become the champion again.
Yeah,
So that'll be interesting. What do you think is going to happen after that with Drew? Think he's going to really become like a really forefront main guy?
he's gonna stay a heel for a while.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I
I
think
don't know
so.
who he's gonna go on a feud with, but they
Yeah.
do have a few viable options with he attacked and injured CM Punk. So when
I was about to say, I think CM Punk is going to come back next year, and they're going to face him at WrestleMania.
yeah, Drew, I don't think
That's setting up.
yeah, I don't know if Drew's gonna hold the belt that long. I honestly have no
You
idea.
don't think so?
I don't
Oh,
know. It just
okay.
depends on like what happens to be developing. I mean, they've been trending towards longer title reigns as you have with Gunther and what Roman's what how long he been champion, like past decade or something like that.
Fucking been in high school last time I
Yeah,
think.
I when he won the championship, I hadn't hit puberty or something like
Like,
I should have
goddamn.
been here. uh, yeah, it's like they're training towards these longer reigns for their more prestigious championships. So he
Mm.
could. It depends on how compelling. If it tends to if his reign is booked poorly and it runs dry, they run out of hot feuds for him, and it's just not catching people's interest, and the ratings are low, he's gonna drop the championship. But
Yeah.
I'm all for Drew McIntyre being champion.
Yeah. I like him. I like how he trolls CM Punk with the shirt and everything.
Oh yeah, it's like those fine details that make people really like the kid.
Yeah,
It just shows
exactly.
the extra attention, and kudos to Drew. He's doing some phenomenal work now.
Yeah, and he came out. I don't know if you remember. He came out one Raw. He was like, "I want to thank everybody for making this shirt the highest selling." And I'm gonna tell you, none of these proceeds will go to CM Punk. I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how that is. How he will be with the championship and everything.
Yeah,
But let's move on to our actual main event. Rhea Ripley in her home country.
forgetting something.
What?
There was another match.
Oh yeah. I wasn't really gonna go over it, but
But
yeah, we can talk about it a little bit, but I wasn't
you
really
cared
gonna.
about. Hold on, there's actually two matches that we didn't talk about. But which one?
Judgment Day and
Yes,
I forgot. I don't even know their names.
Judgment Day versus they. It's a new name they put. Yeah, it's Pete Dunne and
Or
Tyler Bate.
yeah, something Republic.
Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah, and what was the other match?
the women's tag team championship match. That was
Did I
maybe
see that?
something like that.
Oh, I think I missed that one. But yeah, I think I missed that one. But it was who was it?
Yeah, uh, Asuka and Kyrie Sane versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
And
think I just knew. Yeah, yeah, just
pretty standard match. I mean, you
yeah.
didn't think
I didn't even see the hype for that match, to be honest with you. Like I didn't see much hype for that match.
because there wasn't any.
That's why I forgot
No,
about it.
not to the talent. I don't want to come across like that to be disparaging, but I'm just saying like you didn't know about it because there was no promotion for it.
Yeah, yeah. I was
These are all phenomenal athletes, but like even the ones that I don't quote unquote like. But and in this case, like, I have nothing bad to say about Kyrie Sane, Asuka, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, but like there was just no promo for the match, so
yeah.
it's hard for
Did
you to
we
know about it.
did we need the match?
Well, it was a lot. This was a very expensive show for them to put on in Australia. Australia paid a lot of money for it, so
Mm,
they were going to get a show. They weren't just going to get two matches.
mm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a 3.5 hour show, so it was interesting.
It was a long show for what they had on it because they really didn't have that many matches.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was and then the tag titles match with Drew. Not Drew. I can say Drew. Damien and
Mhm.
Finn fighting Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I like Judgment Day a little bit more now
Why you say that?
because they're winning matches and they're not just resorting to the same cheap thing where Rhea interferes and the men can't hit her back and
Mm.
I just didn't get the cheap heat, but it was like I'm talking back in the Attitude Era. If you would have came out there and grabbed the Rock's foot or something like that as a woman, you would have caught a rock bottom.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
yeah, you're right.
you,
You was
women
giving Stephanie McMahon rock bottoms and shit.
yes,
Yeah.
Kane
Yes.
gave Linda McMahon a tombstone pile driver. Look, Bubba Ray Dudley put Mae Young through a freaking table. Did you see that?
I don't remember that
There was a
now.
power bomb off the top rope through a table. And
That's
I'm telling you,
interesting.
she's asking for. I'm telling you, like somebody like most recently, they don't do a lot of intergender stuff. But when Nia Jax fought in the men's Royal Rumble, and I mean she's in the match, you gotta fight her.
Why
And
was
they,
she in the men's Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I think she attacked R-Truth and took his spot. And
Wait,
yeah,
this was just the last one?
nah, this was like 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, I was about to say.
And yeah, Rey Mysterio put the 619 on her. Like she was whooping his ass at first. I guess because he
Wow.
ain't the Rey Mysterio. He's like the
Yeah,
ultimate
yeah,
face. You can't. He's a nice guy. So
yeah.
he's a fighter. So long story short, I got turned around and he put the 619 on and Randy hit her with RKO and chucked her ass out the ring.
Wow.
I'm not a fan of the type of stuff to where they don't get their comeuppance. I don't like that because it
Mm.
does it it what's the word I'm trying to say? It makes the men wrestlers look weak. I mean, of course, it makes the woman look good because she's hanging with the men and doing stuff, but it just makes them look. I don't want to say emasculated. I get yeah, it does make them look like that too. But it just from a storyline perspective, like we've seen this, and I understand like they have sponsors, they want to cut back on like the men versus women. Like no one's advocating for like real life domestic violence. No one's advocating for that. But just from a storyline perspective, somebody who doesn't ever get their comeuppance, that is very annoying. Like back, even when Stephanie McMahon used to smack all the men wrestlers, and then even with like she used to humiliate the divas and the women wrestlers. Like she would smack them too, and like nothing ever would happen to it. And it's just like the whole concept of you being a heel is to eventually get a baby face, or for you to build up momentum and get people to hate you, get them invested, and then you would fight somebody else and they want to see them kick your ass. Well, oftentimes it was just Stephanie McMahon when she was doing her thing that there was no payoff for it. Stephanie McMahon would just embarrass you, and she would embarrass you for the sake of embarrassing you. So that's why I'm not a fan of it. But yeah, I do like the Judgment Day more to get back on topic because they're, like I said, they're getting back to their fundamentals. They're not just relying on that. And they're still a heel team, but there's a lot of potential. I would like to see some more upside for Finn. Damian Priest, he has the briefcase. He's going to be the champion soon. And yeah, I mean that solid match. It was a weird pace for like a main roster show just because Pete Dunne, he doesn't wrestle like what you would typically see on the main roster. He's a very unique style. He's more technically sound and more of a technician. And that's not like if you go back to let's say 2019, 2015, 2012, 2008, you would not see a match like you wouldn't see a lot of wrestlers wrestling like him at that level. You know, he doesn't like the weird stuff, the joint work where he's twisting people's hands, and
Yeah.
it's not you're probably not asses aren't leaving seats. I'll put it that way. He's very intense. You can imagine why it hurts. But some moves when people perform in some styles, like you jumping up, but like nobody's jumping up because
Oh my God, he did it to his finger. Yeah, that ain't.
make a star out of socket.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is my best. Nah.
And I love Pete Dunne, but it's just like his style is different. It's much more about joint manipulation and inflicting slow, stretching pain to his opponents.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I never thought they was gonna win. Judgment Day thought Judgment Day was gonna win. But do you think he's gonna have the Damian Priest? Do you think he's gonna have the tag team titles in the actual championship, whichever championship he gets?
No, I feel like he's gonna get the boot from Judgment Day before he cashes in.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
I mean they've been planting seeds the entire time with
Oh, I watched more SmackDown than Raw, but yeah, you're gonna have to let me know them seeds.
Rio's not the leader of the Judgment Day. And
Mm,
seeing things like pretty much Damien does what he wants, but he's part of the group. And
mm.
other people don't like it. And I have a feeling, I don't know whether he loses the title, he cashes in, and they turn on him.
Mm,
But his days in Judgment Day are clearly numbered.
mm. Who do you think they're gonna lose the titles to?
That's a good question. What tag teams do they have? That I mean, the New Day. Help me out here. The New Day is not winning the tag team championship. That was
Yeah, I don't think that's why I didn't.
it. They're not.
Like, who are they? Are they in a feud with anybody right
Not really.
now? Not really, right?
I want. I don't. I'd be. I don't think they're gonna make it past WrestleMania with the tag team championships.
Mm. They could lose at Raw,
Maybe.
probably. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so yeah, that the match wasn't bad, of course, with Dominic trying to introduce the actual introduce him and everybody booing him. This guy.
Apparently, what the crowd was saying was so bad that they had to cut the. That's why it went black because
Oh, really? I was like, yo, what happened? I thought I was bugging. I was like, yo, what happened?
they said that what they were saying about Dominic was so bad that they cut it out.
This nigga never learns. Stop grabbing the mic, man.
He has nuclear heat, and it's not go away heat, but it's a lot of people. he's an effective heel. Nobody likes him.
Nah. The none of the yeah, the booze he get, yeah, he's definitely an effective heel.
They're on a different level. Yeah.
That's interesting.
To
Hey.
answer your earlier question about the tag team, which ones do they have? They have Alpha Academy. Just realistically, Alpha
Hmm.
Academy, DIY, The New Day.
DIY, maybe DIY.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. DIY because they were great in NXT,
Yeah.
and I could potentially see Street Profits if, but just like
Hopefully, but I don't doubt
they
it.
haven't been, they don't have any momentum.
Yeah,
They
I
they
would
have,
have want
they
that, but
have to
no.
completely shift their trajectory.
From carrying cross. Yeah, yeah.
Not even that, just from losing matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not talking about it shifting from storyline. Like,
Yeah. They just got to start with it.
yeah, beat somebody.
Yeah.
That's
Scary.
that's what that Bobby Lashley conglomerate that they have going on. It's just the most mystifying thing to me. And now they have a BFAB, but it's just it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Since they've linked up and they've done nothing. So when Bobby hooked up with them, the storyline was, oh, they're losing matches, and he was like, give me the suits back in. All right, it's like, okay, well, maybe they're building to like them actually getting things together, and then they actually become a good tag team. It's like that never
Mm.
happened.
No.
Bobby's getting beat up every week, and it's like these are
Yeah.
some of my on the active roster. These are some of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
They just look like they look like chumps. They haven't done anything noteworthy, and it's not on. It's just that's
I
the
don't,
position they're booked in.
I don't know if you saw any highlights of the SmackDown before Elimination Chamber on Friday, when they went against the Authors of Pain.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, they he said it went what?
I didn't see that match.
Okay, yeah, they got their ass whooped. Yeah. I forgot what happened at the end, but at the end they was just laid out. It was yeah. It was and that's when Bobby Lashley got his got hit with the chair by Darian Cross. Yeah, there was just
Yeah, pathetic.
yeah, that's crazy. That's a shame. But
So
yeah,
much potential wasted. But
yeah.
get to it. Main event time.
Yep. Rhea Ripley in her home country against Nia Jax. What?
Nia Jax home country too, apparently.
Yeah, I did see that too. I saw it at the press
I didn't
conference.
know that.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't know that either. She was like, I was actually born here. Then she did the heel shit. He's like, my parents did the best thing, leaving this godforsaken country. I was like, oh yeah. There she is.
That
But
is
yeah.
wild.
I really like Nia Jax though. I like her work. Like even during the match, I thought she was the MVP of the match. Like the way she like taunted, had Rhea talking to her family, like have her with
Yeah.
like have her like, oh mom, come on, Bobby. Like I thought she's nice.
And
Huh?
she's very entertaining. She got kind of a bad rep because in her first stint with WWE before she got let go and came back, she was she had like a reputation for being like a bit of an unsafe worker, a bit rough.
Mm,
And
I can
sometimes
see that.
she had there's a size difference. Like just be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
But some of that was like, let's say with her being greener and her being so much stronger than some of the people she was working with.
yeah,
Sometimes when people got hurt, other times there were people like she would catch slack for that, or excuse me, catch flack. And then there was other times where just let's say you're having a match, that's a wrestling is dangerous. So people get hurt, and
yeah,
then by like it could somebody could get hurt with no fault to her, and they would just say, "Oh, it's Nia Jax. She's unsafe," and she was. It's like, dude, they're wrestling, and the wrestler would confirm that. Okay, no, that's not what happened. I actually got hurt here when I was doing this other thing, and
hmm,
but she just had a reputation, and that's like people. She's still not completely in the clear, and I have my thoughts about that. But she since she's came back, she has been safe. I don't know if any people she's injured, and she's very entertaining. She's funny, and
yeah,
just the her character work. I would have I would have loved to see her beat Rhea, but I just knew that wasn't gonna happen.
yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't gonna happen. Nah, not at all. She,
Like,
yeah, what I've noticed is only time that would happen at not a WrestleMania show, like especially in that person's home country, it would have to be someone who's big. Like, not Nia Jax is not big enough. Like, you have to be like a John Cena, like how John Cena beat Edge in Canada in a TLC match for the
it is
championship.
match.
Yeah, in his match, like only John Cena would be able to do like.
Oh,
So
do
yeah,
you remember back in the day they used to do this thing to where they would have, if it was your hometown, you would lose.
Mm.
I'm talking like up until fairly recently. I'm talking like
Oh, okay.
the past 4 years. It was a Vince McMahon thing where I guess he thought that it was going to get them heat. And if it was your hometown, you could be sure that you were either going to get embarrassed or somebody was going to beat you. And it's just always been a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you do have a few isolated ones, but or I guess a few exceptions, but it was an ongoing joke for a number of years that you did not want to be the hometown hero.
Mm. And you kind of called it with the end of the match too. With you said that Nia was gonna try to get on the ropes, and then Rhea was gonna like try to lift her up. It didn't exactly happen like that, but that was really her downfall, like the beginning to her downfall, really. And then she implemented the finisher, and then yeah. So it wasn't a bad match though. Does Rhea always scream that much in her match? I didn't know if she was doing it because she was just trying to get the crowd to hype her up more, or does she just like?
I don't think she does.
She does okay. I was just like, why is she screaming? But it's interesting. But I like Rhea though. She's nice. I don't even
Yeah,
with when she does go against Becky, I don't see Becky winning that match. Um, huh?
I hope not.
You hope not? Yeah, I just don't see it.
It's just from a storyline perspective. I think that Rhea has more to gain from winning than Becky does have from winning. Just the reality of it.
Yeah. You think Rhea would become a babyface at any time?
In the future,
Yeah, in the future, like
sure,
how?
she was a babyface originally.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that
She
they
was a baby face on on Saturday, technically.
they just made her like such a chump, and they didn't know how to book her. They had Charlotte Flair beat her at WrestleMania for her NXT Championship, and didn't do anything with like replenishing the the title's legitimacy for the brand or helping NXT. She lost in a triple threat and didn't get pinned. And it's just like she she I think she actually did beat Charlotte last year. So that
Yeah.
kind of they said, well, made up for it. I said, well, they shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. But she lost her edge when she first came out. She was just like a smiling face, and that never works. Like just like the happy-go-lucky smiling baby face. It's so flat. There's no character. It's not the fact that people don't like good guys. It's the fact of they make good guys look like idiots. Like you will get beat up. Somebody will beat the piss out of you one week and bat you with the chair. The next week you come out there smiling and high fiving, and I mean you could still connect with the audience and be a good guy, but like have some edge and use some common sense.
You know what that reminds me of?
So,
Bailey.
yes, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Because she had
She
the
was the
whole
best example.
yeah, yeah. She had like the hug routine, and then
I'm
she
good
like,
one.
nope, I'm done. She just like completely switched. I thought that was interesting. I like Bailey too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just like I like the vast majority of these wrestlers, but that's the material that they give them to work with.
yeah,
Oh, it's some rough stuff.
yeah, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. How did you feel about the overall match? How much highlights did you see of that?
That was one of the ones I saw the least bit of. So from a
Oh,
narrative standpoint, like I said, I knew it was going to happen because
mm.
Nia had been getting the better of Rio
Of,
for
yeah,
every week.
that's the other thing too. Every other instance, she whoops
Yeah.
her ass.
So it's like if you know, it's just one of those wrestling tropes
Yep.
that whoever is standing tall at the show prior to the event, they are going to lose the match. And Nia was, I'm not talking about just throwing her over the ropes or something like that. Like, no, Nia was beating the piss out of her. And she had, I
Yeah.
remember damage controls in the ring, and they were just like, didn't Nia, she punked Bailey into not challenging Rhea for the
Yeah,
championship.
yeah, yeah. I think Bailey was already about to switch anyway, but yeah, she was like, Bailey, you get to decide, but she won't make it to WrestleMania. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna decide anyway on the next show.
Yeah, Nia made for damn sure she
Yeah. Yeah, now I was about to say that too because she got whiplash because that was when Rhea came out and confronted Bailey after she won the Royal Rumble, and then Nia attacked her from behind and like I was like, damn. Yeah, she was like, yeah, she rough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's is interesting. But yeah, that match wasn't bad though. But of course, yeah, I knew Rhea was gonna win. And hopefully when she does see Becky at WrestleMania, she does end up winning. And we'll see how it goes from there though. But yeah. Anything else you have on the actual match?
Mm, it was very. There was a few notable names that weren't on the card for
Like
like
who?
anybody involved in the Bloodline storyline, except for like Cody and Seth. But I'm talking so like there was nothing that Solo could have done. There wasn't anybody that they could have had Solo fight to give him a victory because he hasn't won a match in I don't know how long since he beat John Cena. You know, Jimmy wasn't on the card. Jay wasn't on the card. Uh, those are the main ones.
Yeah.
Roman wasn't there, but
You said who?
I said, of course, Roman wasn't there.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, it was a pretty. How did you feel about the show altogether? Did you was it good?
It was run of the mill. I mean, there wasn't any there weren't any swerves or surprises
Hmm.
outside of like things like who eliminated who,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. Okay, but in terms of like overarching victories, I mean, let's run through it real quick. We all knew that like there wasn't any tag team, there wasn't any championship changes,
Yep.
and so the women's tag team titles, we knew that they weren't going to lose their belts,
Yeah.
even though you didn't know about the match.
Yeah.
On paper, you knew they weren't going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judgment Day was not losing to DIY.
No,
Drew
they not. That wasn't DIY. That was
Pete Dunne and Tyler
Yeah.
Bate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else? The women's match, we knew that was a foregone conclusion. We knew that Rhea was going to win.
Yeah.
It was a good show, but it was predictable. And I want to add the caveat here. A lot of times people say that okay, we knew it was going to happen. It was boring. Sometimes the obvious thing is the right thing to do. I think one of the more interesting things about wrestling is execution. It's
Yeah.
not always about being surprised and just like if you just start just trying to swerve people for the sake of swerving people,
Yeah.
you lose
Yeah.
continuity and stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Definitely the execution. Like if the matches were like exciting, you would definitely be excited for the overall. If they were boring, then you'd be like, okay, this wasn't. Yeah. So yeah, the execution is definitely important. Yeah, I agree.
Well, thanks for joining us again for another episode of Two Smart Marks, episode 2, and we'll be back soon. See you then.
Peace.